Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the 22nd episode of Toaster Talk. We are all the way across at Hungary, mentally at least. Physically, all of us are in different locations. But an exciting race this weekend. I'd say this entire weekend was a pretty exciting one. And we have a couple of new faces on the show. Would love to hear the different opinions that we have, just as confusing and exciting the top six of today's race were. The order just kept on changing. Raindrops in between sparked hope of even more chaos, but it started raining only towards the end. But with that, let's go around and get a quick round of introductions of our panelists and ask each one of them what was the highlight for them this weekend. Let's start off with our regulars first. Twinkle?
Obviously, I think for me, the highlight was Mercedes getting the pole position yesterday. I don't think they were extraordinary at all. I think he pulled a perfect lap, although it wasn't the fastest lap. I was very disappointed to see, because Lewis was P1 in Q1 as well. So I was hoping to see another first place start for Lewis as well, but that didn't happen. So disappointing start today. I didn't expect Max to win. Of course, he started all the way from 10th, but I think that new gearbox did give him that boost. But yeah, overall, a very exciting race to see both the Mercedes get podium places.
And if our viewers remember, Twinkle called this out last week. And it did come true, though she was hoping it would be a 1-2 Mercedes. We'll make do with a 2-3.
Yeah.
Next up, Vignesh.
Okay, so for me, it would be basically Russell getting the pole position and showing that, okay, why he's again called as a Mr. Consistent / Mr. Saturday. Although I expected more from Lewis, but yeah, sadly disappointing. The furthermore highlight was somehow Checo Perez dropping down and not qualifying for Q3. It was wonderful to watch, but yeah, somehow K-Mag ruined his quali. That's what he says. And finally, for the third and the final highlight was the McLaren's pathetic performance in the quali and Daniel's wonderful race in the race weekend.
Yeah, he did also let Stroll spin around. Perfect dance move there. But let's hear some fresh perspectives on this show. And I'd love to welcome first up Sathyanarayan.
Hey, Vivek. So yes, when you look at the qualifiers, Russell getting pole was an absolute banger. Even the commentators were completely shocked, because when the way they were commenting, they were very sure that, okay, fine, Sainz has got the pole, and out of nowhere, just Russell comes out without setting any purple sectors, just making sure that overall he did a bit better than Sainz. In the race, well, the championship is almost done now, because one of the main criterias with respect to Leclerc having the possibility to win the championship was that he has to win every single race, and Max might come second but should not be getting the fastest lap. That was the only way in which Leclerc could have won this championship, and Ferrari just handed it over in a silver platter to Red Bull. A season where Ferrari is absolutely the fastest car on the grid. And the third highlight was
today, but
well, let's see. And the third highlight would be, yes, Max did come from P10 to P1, but most of that was the bundling up of strategies by Ferrari. But I really loved the drive of Lewis Hamilton from P7 to P2. And in fact, I'm very sure if the virtual safety car had not happened, he was quickly catching up to Max. In fact, in the last lap, he nearly got him by 3 seconds.
Yep.
That's mine.
And just so that our viewers know, Sathyanarayan is a Mercedes fan. Just had to put that disclaimer up there front. And last but not the least, we have our neutral fan who loves the sport. But if it were for drivers, he would support Alonso and Hamilton. So let's hear your perspectives, Gaurang.
Hi Vivek, thank you so much for introducing me to the team, and obviously special thanks to my college senior Twinkle. So yeah, so glad to be here, and I have just made a few pointers, and I'd like to start with the let's say the midfield and McLaren's upgrade package. When they said they will not be bringing any package, and you can see them having incredible performance. It's like a huge jump for them, and they are doing better than the Alpines, even from a strategy point of view. Somehow, Lando stuck well into the hard tires, which is, I was surprising. Everyone was struggling, but Lando, I mean, he's doing incredibly well. Ricardo was also, going well, but yeah, he just had that little moment, and it all went bad from there. So that's one highlight. McLaren are slowly, coming back, and hopefully they gain back that P4 position. But yeah, it's going to be an incredible scene there as well. So and then a short moment of let's say like a good time. Like for me, Latifi had never ever done a good race apart from maybe last year Hungary, where somehow he maintained the positions place. Obviously, there's so many drivers going out, but still he did it. But yeah, this time in FP3, everyone were out on track, and obviously he just got the fastest lap. So that was a good moment for him. But in the race and quali, it was back to normal. So yeah, so that's Latifi doing his bit for the first half of the season. Uh, and obviously the final point is that this was the first race where all three teams, and let's maybe not Checo, who he was there for the first like 20 laps with Max, but then he just lost pace. But it was we can say that all six drivers from the top three teams were in for the win. So that was really really great to see. So yeah, these are three highlights from the Hungarian Grand Prix weekend.
Yep. No, I would say starting off with our new Mr. Friday, Latifi.
Yeah.
Right. We've pulled his leg enough on the show, but he decided to do a payback at least on Friday.
Yes.
The wets obviously helped him, and he was able to have a much slicker race than everyone else.
It was a Saturday though, FP3. So yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry, correct. Yeah, it was a Saturday.
Yeah.
But okay, Mr. Practice.
Mr. Practice. Yeah.
I think even in qualifier, I think Latifi had the fastest sector in Q3.
Yes, in Q1. In Q1.
Q1.
I know.
King
I
Latifi.
believe his sector 1 was purple, sector
Yes.
2 was green, sector 3 was yellow.
Yellow.
Yeah,
And
so
that's
they had
where
all
he
colours.
dropped it. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
that
like
King
he was
Latifi
trying to get
proved
all
that
the
he
colours
can
of
set
the
the
rainbow.
fastest and the slowest sector
Yes.
times in just one lap.
Yes.
Beautiful. Another highlight.
Yeah, so that was his way of supporting Pride.
Yeah.
But yeah, that also brings us to this race was made a lot more exciting with the exit of Masi by Ferrari. Right. I know everyone's been talking a lot about the Ferrari strategy, the lack of Ferrari strategy. They have an entire month now to figure this out till 28th August when we hit Belgian Grand Prix. But what are your thoughts in terms of what does Ferrari really need to do at this point?
Fire the strategist, all of them. The entire crew that's ever been there, they just need to fire everyone. Just get a new set of 20, 30 people, whoever, who'd give random strategies. At this point, even chit picking would work better than what they're doing. So
And I sort of have to agree with Twinkle on this, considering the fact that Leclerc started off on mediums. Leclerc started off on soft,
Oh.
and the next they moved to mediums. So technically, their one tire shift is already over. Now, no, sorry, my bad. He started off with mediums. Then they switched to mediums again. Now, before this, there was already experiment that had that Alpines had already conducted, wherein they were not able to turn on the hards. They were having a good race till they switched to hards, and then they kept dropping off. Similarly, it was the same case with Magnussen. It was the same case with Alonso and Ocon. And it was visible. In fact, the commentators kept saying the same thing again and again. The best thing that Leclerc or Ferrari could have done is since they knew it was going to be a two-stop, they could have gone for medium, soft, and then mediums again. Or they could have gone for medium, medium, soft. I understand that they were trying to hold off Max by pitting Leclerc, but they could have just gone with another set of softs right there, or had Leclerc go longer, which is something what Mercedes did, made Lewis go longer and then pitted him for soft. But somehow Sainz, who they tried the same strategy with, was not able to turn on his tires like Lewis. Lewis was flying past. He was doing 1 minute 21 while Sainz was doing 1 minute 22 while both of them are on the soft. So either, I have no idea, but strategy wise, it was the worst possible call that they could have done.
I think even the pit stops didn't help there.
Yeah. Sainz lost
True.
2 seconds. Yeah.
Just the last pit stop was good. Like, it was a decent pit stop on the last one.
The softs. Yeah.
But to be honest, see, I beg to disagree that okay, it was only the strategist's fault. Come on, as you said that okay, Science and Lewis were on the same strategy, but then you see that okay, the drivers themselves were struggling to control the car, and of course, see, Mercedes have spent so much time and energy in the research that okay, they know which compound actually works with their car. They know the gamble. In fact, you can see Bono multiple times he used to say, right, that okay, this team is struggling with this tires. And he has spoken it out loud. That's how Mercedes have done. Ferrari, on the other hand, they have a big legacy. Now, over the entire half a season, you see, right, it was not only the strategist which gave them. The engines blew up. Or last race, we had a crash from the lead. Now you cannot only pinpoint and singly blame the strategist. Agreed. This might be one of the off race where they were not able to deliver. But yeah, it is a compounded fact which Ferrari have to see. So yeah, if they have to fire the entire team. Like bring in 3,000 people new for all the departments, be it engine, be it strategy, be it trackside engineer, be it radio communication. At least what I want is at least take Bono from Lewis and replace it to at least Science and Leclerc. Yeah.
No.
Their engineers are so like, okay,
No.
they don't even give motivation to the drivers.
Understood.
The
That
drivers need
is the main
yeah.
line that they say. If
Yeah.
Leclerc says, and this is happening, understood.
Understood. Copy that. So that's what I'm telling. Fundamentally, the entire organization, I believe they are still riding on their past glories. They need to do a complete restructure, rehaul of the entire team,
100%.
and understand that okay, your past glories are okay, they are good, but your present glories is what you're going to achieve, and you need to focus on them.
So they finally
Copy
got a
that.
car that's at least given people hope. So I think that team still needs to stay because they've actually done the hard work to get them to this point. Now, everyone else was not expecting that, which is why we are seeing what's happening. But Gaurang, we haven't heard from you in a bit, so I just want to.
Yeah. So I mean, I had a very funny point, and I was just waiting out to see who will mention it. So basically, what I think is, if Ferrari did not have the heritage money which they get from the FIA every year and the other sponsors and everything, I think they'll turn into Williams. So that's what has happened to Williams in the past 20 or 30 years. And Ferrari, if they continue doing this, they have a fast car, they have an amazing driver lineup, but no, the 50% is still missing, which is the team that is not racing, and the team that is building the cars is doing well, but it's the strategy team, it's the mind games which is not going out there well. I don't want to be a racist by saying Italians, but I don't know, maybe that's the reason, who knows. So but yeah, I think that's basically it, right? It's the restructure which is the common answer from everyone. So let's see what Matthias says. Let's see if he's still adamant by saying that we were right on our strategy. So I'm interested to hear. I haven't seen the post race debrief. So yeah.
Yeah,
I think with the crashes and these power unit failures and all of that, that's bound to happen over the season.
Yeah.
We do see younger drivers usually tend to make more mistakes. They're young, they're supposed to make these mistakes. They learn from their mistakes as well. Leclerc didn't do anything wrong today. He was perfect. He did his job really, really well. I think his overtakes were great. I think there was a lot of wheel-to-wheel racing from Leclerc, from Sainz as well. Sainz also, I think, did his best. I think Ferrari, I think the major challenge with Ferrari is just why even move them to hard tires? Like these calls are so unnecessary. Like I don't see what the plan is, considering they were expecting some rain around lap 65. Why even pit him so early? He's a championship contender. I think they've just not done this for a really long time. But if they keep making these mistakes time and again, they're just handing the win to Red Bull at this point of time. Ferrari strategy probably works for Red Bull at this point of time. Safe to say, considering the kind
Actually,
of points they've been just giving away. This is giving away points. They have
in
very
fact,
good
Twinkle,
tires.
they have done this the same time before also.
Yeah.
This is something that they've repeatedly done even in 2017 and 2019.
Yeah.
In
Just
2017,
that it was a different team.
2017, it was a different driver lineup, and there were mistakes from Vettel as well. But Ferrari also had their own part to play
Yep.
with respect to Lewis and Mercedes winning that championship. So this is a trend that is seen in Ferrari. The minute somehow they're jealous of their own, it seems like they're jealous of their own drivers winning. They're like, we are not able to win, only they're winning, so let them also not win.
One thing I wanted to say was at this point of time, Ferrari is missing Sebastian Vettel and Kimi Raikkonen's experience. Vettel, whenever there was a wrong strategy call, he was bold enough to say, no, I'm not coming in. This is my call, I'll take it. We saw the glimpses of science overruling the strategist. But yeah, they are truly missing Vettel, the strategist.
Yeah, and I think it's
Speaking-
also because of the I mean, again, they're young and everything, right? So they are in this Ferrari pressure, and they just cannot, outright go ahead and just say no, because he knows that if you remember, Matteo, Binotto saying, wagging that, finger to Leclerc. I mean, I'm pretty sure it was asking him to calm down and not like saying, like maybe pumping him up. So yeah, that is backslash if you, criticize Ferrari publicly.
Valid.
Only Nando, which is sorry, I mean, I call him Nando, so which is
Alonso.
Fernando Alonso.
Okay.
So only Fernando and Vettel have actually done that, because they have done so much for Ferrari, and so yeah, they just thought they can, be outright.
And-
No,
and
I
it's also the
agree with Gaurav and
experience,
Vignesh
right?
on this.
It's the
Yeah, no,
entire
I
experience.
agree with this, because even experience aside, one of the biggest example of this was when they fired Alan Prost just because he called Ferrari a tractor.
Yeah.
He was he was the lead in that time. He was fighting for the lead. I mean, he was one of the greats at that time. Yet they fired him just because he told the truth. The car was a tractor, and he said that, and he got fired. Ferrari overall is a team that, unlike Toastmasters, cannot take up a constructive criticism. Any sort of criticism for that matter.
Yep.
If the minute they
Yeah.
say the car, I don't want to do this with respect to strategy or with respect to the car, they just turn defensive. Like, for example, even in last race, they should have criticized, but they were like, no, it was all good. Even if it is Leclerc's mistake or if it is a car mistake, they should have criticized the strategy last time as well, because of letting Leclerc stay for so long.
But
Yet they did not.
I think a big part of winning any world championship is trust, right? So if you go on publicly bashing your own
Yeah.
team, it
Valid.
compromises trust. So I
Yep.
disagree
Yeah.
with all of you all saying that they should be publicly disagreeing with the strategists. Of course, they have the summer break. I know they're going to work through their things. But
Agreed, but they don't seem to take accountability of the fact that it was the wrong call. Like,
yeah,
that is something that Mercedes
like-
does. If
I
you
think
see,
even
Mercedes
Mercedes-
does that.
very diplomatically, although I've been looking at
No
the
public bashing, but
yeah.
they don't even do it diplomatically. They don't agree that it was the wrong call. They're like, no, you were right.
Twinkle, more than bashing, right? It's like, okay, the driver also needs to take the accountability. You see Lewis, many a times Mercedes asks him pit, and he's like, no, my tires are fresh. I have faith in the tires. I have faith in the car. I'll extend my
Lando did
stint.
this last year at Sochi, and then he had a miserable time afterwards. So, it's not always, it doesn't always help you out. I mean,
Yeah.
these are guys with 5 years, 6 years of experience driving the F1 cars, 4, 5 years driving F1 cars. You can't expect them to have Lewis's experience of 20 years.
Yeah.
So
Hence
that-
my point, right? That they are missing Sebastian Vettel and Kimi's experience in the car. But yeah, of course, considering Vettel is going to retire from Formula One at the end of the season, Ferrari could replace their strategist and bring in Vettel as their chief strategist. Or yeah, probably Vettel could do a
Definitely.
work from home strategy for Ferrari.
Yeah, I mean that'll work out brilliantly, I guess.
No, I think FIA needs Vettel more than Ferrari needs him.
Yeah, but that's
But speaking of Vettel's
retirement.
enters Instagram, everyone's like, Vettel's on Instagram. And
Yeah,
then Vettel announces, I'm retiring, end of the
yeah,
year.
yeah.
What are your first
Such a shock.
reactions?
For me, it was 2016 recap when Nico Rosberg one day of the sudden he is like, I'm done. Guys, tata bye bye. That is how Vettel did. He entered Instagram. His first post was itself like, I want to thank a lot of people, but yeah, I have my own commitments. One thing which I liked about Vettel, being a true legend, there's a mark of a true legend and a true leader is you should know when to step down. Vettel is in his primes. You could see him. He had qualified. I think so. He had gotten out in Q1, but he brought a car to P10 and got the points for the Aston Martin. He knows that's the best he could do now. He still has the fire within him, but he doesn't have a car with him. He knows this is the right time to retire, and he took a right decision. For that, I salute the guy. I salute the legend, and he'll always be remembered with us. And he'll always be with us as a legend.
Yeah. For me, I mean, if there are OG Vettel fans, they know it. So Vettel had expressed this a long back, probably in 18-19, when he said that I'll open an Instagram account only like
And I want to
yeah.
quit. Yeah.
Yeah, so sorry, the lights just went out. He says that I'll open an Instagram account only when I quit F1. I was damn right, and I didn't want to, like obviously call it out, but my heart was pumping. And then 10 minutes later, wait, I think few hours later, I mean, I got to know that he opened Instagram like through midday, Indian time. And at that point, only after half an hour, he uploaded the video, and I was like, damn, this is true. So yeah, I mean, I was taken aback. I was just watching his old, Red Bull days and his, resurgent Ferrari days back in 2016, 17. And also his last victory, which I say Canada and Singapore.
Canada.
Yeah,
Of course, it was robbed, but yeah, Canada is his
by the
victory.
FIA.
Of course, yeah, and of course, multi 21 remains. He was a master of that.
Yeah, I mean, he's just a true racer. So I'm in full support. So people used to hate him back then. Oh, he's not a team player. Who cares? Formula One, ruthless Formula One drivers like Fernando, Lewis. I'm sure, like in 2007, he was not a team player. He was absolutely ruthless. So these guys, they're absolute legends of the, like which we say the modern era, right? So, and slowly Max, Charles, Lando, and obviously Russell, they're all, carrying it forward.
Yeah.
When it's
Yeah, to be
we
just
just
one
have two
point I
more.
wanted to add.
We have sure, Vignesh.
I just wanted to add only one more point for the Netflix fans, Netflix Formula One fans, what I call them. They can never understand the ruthlessness which probably Alan Prost, Ayrton Senna, Niki Lauda, then we have Michael Schumacher and others. You could see that, okay, they used to, Fernando, Lewis, they used to play mind games just to make sure that, okay, you have that edge over your competitors. Those are the true legends for me.
When like with
You're just speaking your
now
age.
you
because
have
in another
Lewis,
10, 15
you have
years,
Lewis
people
and
will be saying the
Max.
same thing.
Yeah, like now you have Lewis and Alonso left. The funny part is the rest, everyone else, all the other drivers fall between 18 to 25 years. And after that, next is Lewis, who is 35 right now. And then Alonso, who is 41. There's a 10-year age gap right there. Why, Vignesh?
Perez?
Why are you thinking so much?
Perez.
What?
Perez is in 30s, right?
Yeah, Perez is 30. Oh, he's the odd one out.
Yeah.
Perez and this guy, yeah.
That's what I was thinking. Some odd one.
I totally forgot Perez and this guy. What is that?
Ricardo.
K-Mag.
Ricardo too.
K-Mac.
Ricardo, yeah. So
K-Mac,
you have
Ricardo.
35 in Lewis, then you have like 29, 30s with a few three drivers, and everyone else is below 25.
Lewis is 37.
More
Yeah.
than
No, he's 35.
37.
Oh, sorry,
37.
he's
37.
85, right? Sorry, 1985,
Yeah.
yeah.
so
Yeah.
so the
So
bottom line is
once these two retire, because Lewis might stay in the sport for another 2 to 3 years. I mean, it'd be a heartbreak when he retires, but 2 to 3 years. Alonso, another 50 years. He's a rookie who joined like just
damn right,
recently.
damn right.
Yeah, so he'll be there for another couple of more years, but Lewis, 2 to 3 years max. And when they leave, that'll be an end of an era. And it was one of the best eras ever. They had the amount of competition that they had with especially the 2012 season. You had 7 winners in 7 races, 7 different winners in 7 races.
Yes.
Currently it's just Ferrari Red Bull. We know it's just Ferrari Red Bull. Mercedes is just gaining, but like McLaren is nowhere near. Williams is gone. You have Haas, which we know is in the midfield. Alfa Romeo again midfield. Aston Martin, I have no idea where they are right now. So there was an era where you had a possibility of every single driver winning. And hopefully with the current regulations, that might be possible again, because the amount of close racing that we are seeing is just brilliant.
Yeah. So I think for the much younger racing fans, right? So when Schumacher was also winning, like speaking number wise, so it was Schumacher, then Vettel, then Lewis. So from a number aspect, I think when Schumacher was winning all those races, I was barely 7, 8, so I didn't really understand much of racing. So I think the true legend that the first Formula One legend that I saw in making was Vettel. So it was him winning the four world championship. It was his. So I saw the Budh circuit thing, right, when he knelt down in front of his Red Bull, and 2013, I believe.
Iconic.
Yeah, it was iconic. So he's done iconic things which are related to geographically, sort of also relate to us. I think Vettel was the first world champion in true order for the younger fans. So it is, but we've seen him struggle for the last couple of years. It's not the car he deserves. There are younger drivers; they obviously deserve a seat. Vettel, nobody would be better than Vettel at recognizing this and giving it a thought as well. I think he's a true legend on and off track of F1. Everything he does is remarkable. So yeah, it's very heartbreaking, but it is the legend's way to go. I just hope he keeps scoring points every race, even if it is 1 point every race.
Yeah, no, I mean, for me, Vettel, I've seen him grow from the angry, young, egoistic man or kid to becoming a gentleman, right? Being there for the drivers.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've seen ample times where he's been the one who's been ready to go out there and, speak out the truth.
Yeah.
And work for driver safety and just the overall strength of the sport, which is why I said I'd rather have him in FIA than at the Ferrari strategy pit crew, just for the sport itself. And I was one of those people who hated Vettel in his initial years because he just made it so boring. I went for Bahrain Grand Prix and it's like, okay, this guy's at pole, and there was like literally just a roundabout happening, and they're like, okay, he's won. And I'm like, I didn't see anyone overtake anyone. There was no strategy, was very clear, cut out. I mean, that's a true champion in that era where he clearly stamped his authority. And again, he's figured out when's the right time to move out, and hoping him great success in whatever he picks up next. With that, I think we've come close to our show for today. Also perfect timing because the sport takes a break. A lot of teams will go back to the drawing board and tweak stuff around, hopefully making the second half of the racing season extremely exciting. At the start of the season, we said we're going to see a 3-way race with respect to the constructors. Looks like the second half of the season might actually get us there. While we know that there's one team which is way ahead, unless reliability issues come into play, which sort of happened last year too. So you never know what's lined up for this exciting season of F1. But I would like to thank all our panelists today for taking your time out and sharing your thoughts. And we will see you all on the other side of the F1 season. We might actually sneak in a special mid-season review and discuss the strategies across all the teams. We know one team strategy, fire all the strategists, but a lot of other factors playing out there. So thank you, everyone. Take care. Stay safe.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you
Bye.
guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.